Rising, Bam Jam. Yeah, I'm wearing my purple toque again. It looks kind of purpley in the back because I have my purple light on. I have this nice diffuser that pops a whole bunch of different colors on. So some days I put purple on, some days I put blue on, some days I let it go through all the colors. It's all the rainbow colors. So thank you to Melinda for giving me that a while ago. I love my diffuser. It's one of the best things in my motorhome, I think. So these are my thoughts for today, just based on the last 24 hours, 48 hours of conversations with a few people. And I want to share a conversation that I had with my middle son, because there's a lot of you that have been sending him a lot of positive vibes, and I'm very, very grateful because he's in Abbotsford in the flood. So he phoned me yesterday, and he's like, what's going on? It was like a regular conversation, like at first, and I'm like, nothing. What's up with you? What's going on? I'm expecting to hear dun dun dun. He's like, yeah, I just went. He's been working really hard for a few years. He sells cars, and then he also does skip the dishes. So he delivers food. So the only thing he's able to do with his friend's car right now is deliver food. But he can't get to where he works because it's all washed out. Not his work, but the road's all washed out to where he goes. Anyways, so we had this conversation. He went and delivered his food to the junkyard where his car is. And he said, yeah, everybody's cars are there. And he's like, one car was really, really bad. And so we got on a conversation. And here's how I'm going to get you to kind of tap into opening up some of your family members, because this was the most beautiful conversation I had yesterday. And it started out like this, okay? So he went to look at his car, and then he's like, yeah, everybody's been saying, like, oh, I feel so bad for you, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm just grateful to be alive. And I said, that's the spirit kind of thing. Like, yes, you're my kid. Woo! Anyhow, I said, do you notice the Red Cross around there? I said, have you seen the Red Cross? Like, with sandbags, putting on advertisements and money here? He's like, no. I said, who do you see there? And he's like, military. And I said, well, isn't that interesting? Who's sending the military? And I told him, I said, well, he already knows about Queen Romana. So he's like, oh yeah. And I said, well, keep your eyes peeled for the military planes and all of that stuff. And then we got to talk on his older brother, who had to get the stuck for his work, right? He's in the 1.0 reserves, okay? Canada 1.0 reserves. And so they sent out a thing saying you must get stuck. So he went and got stuck, and he said, I'm never doing that again. That was against my free will. I got sick, blah, 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 a whole bunch of stuff. But you know how it is with two brothers or just siblings, sometimes they have that low-lying sibling rivalry. So we got talking on, just our soul contracts. It just went from that to that. And I said, a lot of what's going on right now has to do with this great awakening. And some people are stuck in this vibration of a victimhood that we've been programmed with. Like, we've been programmed to be attached to the lower vibrations below your heart, which is like the 7 deadly sins: greed, lust, gluttony, all of that stuff. So if we just look at it in a basic form of anything, if you think with your private parts, if you think with being materialistic and rooted into the ground, and earthly bound with material goods, that you just think of things you need to trail along. That's part of your soul contract that you've made an agreement with Source. Whether you believe in any of this or not, this is why we're here right this second. And so my son and I got talking on, well, to be honest, like, I've already suffered, I don't think suffered is a good word, mourned the death of all of my children right now in this physical form, because I have an understanding of our soul contracts are waking up to the fact that we're immortal, and we keep coming back we're billions of years old. So my soul contract was to pick my parents, and I did not have a good life. Childhood was not, all of that skippity-roo stuff. I wanted to be one of the Cosbys for most of my life. Now I know why. And now I'm like, thank goodness I didn't. But I always thought that was the image of perfect homes and stuff. But now I know that single parents, divorce, all of these manufactured traumas from birth, like every single sexual trauma, everything below the heart vibration has been programmed on us. But we've agreed to that and accepted that in our soul contract. Now I'm going to bring up why I'm talking about this so strongly today. People are flipping their nut about the 5-year-olds and under getting the JAB in Canada. Okay? Now, I'm glad Queen Romana put it on her page, because it's exactly what I've been saying. And this is the collective consciousness. When you are all thinking in a high vibration, when we're all thinking in a high vibration, we're thinking the same thoughts. So it's like, oh, isn't that weird? So-and-so. No, it's not weird. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So when she puts that on the page about how some of these children that are perishing have chosen their parents, no matter what that soul contract looks like, whether they live or have a medical condition they have to go through, these children are starseeds and have all chose this time right now and that physical being, just like we have, to tell a part of the story. They all have a part of the story. So if you keep thinking it's sad that they chose that soul contract, you are distracting from raising your vibration to source, period. So if you're paying attention to who's getting jabbed, why they're getting jabbed, how they chose it, why their parents are this, or why they're putting their kids in school, we are all distracting from connection. So that is what Queen Romana's page is all about. I talked to my son in full detail yesterday about how the page was helping each person activate themselves to help each other. So whether that's raising money, whether that's going and being a good Samaritan and paying for somebody's groceries, whether you need the help, there's no shame in it, because we are the collective consciousness and we are choosing a certain physical form to wear, just like this shirt, just like this cool Bob Ross shirt my son got me. We're all choosing this form to wear during this time to participate in the Great Awakening. So whether it's you're one of 3 kids in a family like my son is, and went through his spiritual journey he knows all about the decalcification, he knows all about those things to get your soul contract vibrating high. He's only learned them in 2 months. This is the same kid last year who told me, I don't want to hear anymore, blah, 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 told me I was friggin' crazy and hung up the phone on me. So we need to keep encouraging these children, no matter what, he's 30, no matter what age they are, to tap into their soul contract, okay? And if you're being distracted by your soul contract, by watching TV, thinking it's real, you should be like, looking at the TV and looking at it as more like a really shitty movie that we're watching right now. The economy is not real at all. It's not. It's fictitious. Those numbers you see are not real. It is a co-creation of the dark. So put that into perspective. The more you pay attention to that false economy, you're keeping that co-creation of that false reality real by us being chattel. If we're truly sovereign beings, then we wouldn't be participating mentally in that up and down of who's selling what or whatever. It is my firm belief, just from all of the research that I've done, that the Fed has been shut down since 2018. These things have been, the countries around the world are working together and have capitulated to TRUMP when he was in office. And his sole contract is also none of anybody's doing. One of my friends talked about it the other day, and I'm like, that's none of my business. I love the guy. I love what he's done for humanity. I really do. Maybe that was all his sole contract was, and I don't think he's even on Earth right now. The person you see on television and whatever, I think is CGI. And why I believe that, if none of you haven't watched Blacklist, okay, you need to get on that. I'm on the third time of watching it, and the only reason I'm promoting this particular series so heavily is because they tell you exactly what goes on and how they take down people. So they talk about deep FAKESs. They talk about everything. And I'm going to show you exactly in a chart video one day. I got a lot of art to do in the next little bit, so I'm going to try and jam it in when I can. But I'm going to decode Blacklist and tell you exactly why it's so important. And the main character, like even doing geometry on his name, mind-boggling. Like, it's unbelievable. So everybody has a soul contract. Everybody has a purpose to why we're here. You just need to wake up to what your particular soul contract is. And I look at everything right now that I see, and everything is, it's just a false reality of the vibration people have created right now. So I'll give you an example. I love the fact that 10,000 people went out to the Freedom Rally in Calgary on Saturday. 10,000 people in Calgary out of 1.3 million people. That's like awesome. So you know how Calgary works. Everybody knows how people have got jobs. It's cold out. They've got kids in whatever. So you got to think at least 10% of the population, if they coulda, they woulda, physically gone out and participated in a freedom rally. Well, if that many people know that CV is BS, and you guys all are talking about CV being BS, okay, so 10,000 people went to that rally knowing it's BS. This narrative that's been going on is propaganda, okay? Why are we not talking about other things, like the 8 million children a year, and educating people to those bigger things, or how your children are getting groomed at school with the period program? What's a period program, you ask? Oh, in Red Deer, 4 trial schools decide to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Why? Just in case your grandma or your mom needs a tampon. Hello? What teenage boy do you know even wants to go buy tampons? Like, come on now. So we need to change our vibration in education even, and look at everything is, if you believe where we're at, and we are co-creating, then 99.9% of the pieces of crap on this planet have been removed, taken down, no longer here. So why are we absorbing ourselves in a timeline of that anymore? I don't, you know all about SRA. I hope you do, and if you don't, look it up. I'll give you the first word, satanic, and the last word, abuse. So if you don't know about it and you need a quick education, just go watch a quick video and you're like, okay, yeah, I don't need to know any more of that. I got it. then move on. It's like taking this baseball and passing it along. Okay, I know this, and detaching from it and throwing it off to another person. So it's like watching a movie, telling the person the movie, and say the ending's not very good, but be prepared, ground yourself. We're all going to get through this. Everything is going to be okay. So my soul contract has been about how to defuse fear, dispel fear. And my very shamanic friend was here on a couple, almost 2 weeks ago, and he has been everywhere. He's 85 years old and he's been everywhere. And he's worked for, he was in the Vietnam War. He's seen it all. He's been around the globe and to other galaxies. And he says, God has prepared a place for all of us. I've been there. God has prepared a place for all of us. So we need to co-create that new reality, because his job all of his life has been to dispel the darkness. So bad comes up, he prays it away. That's what we need to do, is tap into praying it away, the darkness, surrounding it in unconditional love, and just sending it forward. So I love you guys. I'm going to do a quick card reading. And hello to everybody popping in. I can't really see sometimes, so I'm going to do my card reading from these cards. And by the way, I'm working on my own totem card series, and I have been for many years. And I'm finally getting around to doing all the drawings for it. So some of the ones I auctioned off this weekend were for the series. And I had a dream about Gypsy's cow the other day, or not last night, the night before. And I had made this deck of cards, and I was shuffling it, and I'm going to put this on the video, 1717, is I was shuffling the deck, and then all of a sudden, I said, I bet you the first card that comes out is a cow. And I flipped it over, and there was the picture of her cow, Ladybird. And I was like, I woke myself up saying, what did I say now? Well, of course that was about to happen, or something to that effect, but I was actually saying it. It was so funny. But anyways, yes, it's about synchronicities and co-creations right now with your soul contract. Look at all these cards that flew out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are particularly jamming out today. That's a good one. I didn't even hardly shuffle, but I did my little thing right before. So now that I have these on the table, I'm just going to show you what they were doing. These two cards here are stuck together, and this one's over top, like, so that definitely has significance. These two, I'm going to pull them out from side to side and read them first. Oh, well, look at that. So it's the High Priestess and the Water Fairy. And the High Priestess is about discernment, prescience, prophecy, and vision. And it's about feelings and emotions. So that's exactly what we're talking about, is discerning what's yours and what timeline you're co-creating right now. So let's see what the card on top. Oh, and the Wind Fairy, the thoughts. Well, look at all these fairies popping up. Hello, Bud. My little lion fairy. And then, oh my goodness, communication and the stag at 17 again. So this is about communicating with pride and leadership and directing your thoughts in the super positive place to be. So hi, Nova Scotia. I hope you're not flooded out there like they are in some of the other places. So I'm going to read these quickly for you, and if my data cuts off, well, I'm sorry, and you're welcome. And I love you all. I'm just kidding. So let's go to the High Priestess. Intuition, prescient sight, higher knowledge, receptivity, the ability to work with subtle energies of spirit, and the psychic power of feminine. These are all aspects of the High Priestess of Avalon. When the High Priestess appears before you, she asks you to trust your intuition and throw out the net of your awareness out into the world around you, pulling in truths that they may defy your intellect, rational mind, or what others wish to falsely or superficially portray. That is literally about shutting off the television because they're trying to portray another reality to you. Go beyond the ordinary, past the chaos of modern life. Trust your inner vision to guide you on your path. Pay attention to your dreams and keep track of your intuitive hunches. For when the High Priestess appears, she asks you to look for a thread in these places. Be discerning in all that you do at this time, for the High Priestess reminds you that not all is as it seems to be. Not all is as it seems to be. I think a lot of this stuff we're looking at are false flags. I don't think a lot of these people are getting hit by cars and things like that. Yeah, I said it. I watched that thing and I'm like, I've seen 2 people get hit by cars that were fully clothed and there was blood for miles. Like, you cannot tell me there's 0 blood on that ground. Just saying. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. So, anyways. And again, if they did perish, and I feel bad because there's a lot of people going through a lot of crap, it's our soul contracts. So I just wish everybody a lot of light and love and unconditional love while they're going through it. So, however, don't take this world personally. Rise above it and ask for a true vision to see the path ahead. You will be given this vision. All you need to do is ask the God Goddess and be open to receiving it. The High Priestess reminds you of the feminine principle of receptivity, gathering power by receiving information and waiting for others to act first. Allow the world to show you its intention. The Goddess blesses and protects you when the High Priestess of Avalon appears on your path. Ooh, I love it. Love, 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 love. Love. Okay, and it was beside the feelings and emotions water fairy. When the water fairy swims up to you with her liquid magic, she reminds you that feelings and emotion may be running the show. She asks you to consider how you really feel about things and why. She also reminds you that you are not your feelings. You are the one experiencing them. This meat suit is just experiencing these traumas to release at 2222 our soul contracts, previous life energy. So think of it as leveling up every time. Your avatar is leveling up in this meat suit. So if you keep clinging on to those feelings of negativity, your vibrations are going to keep more earthly bound instead of ascension. So remember that as water flows, emotions change. The water fairy also tells you that it's time to lose your rigidity, but fluid and willing to at times to compromise and allow change to happen. If you're happy right now, enjoy, for the water fairy swirls her love around you. If things are making you sad, she comes to wash away your tears. The water fairy knows the power of emotions, so when she appears, be mindful of them and how they affect you. Remember, feelings are the fuel for manifesting. Feelings are the fuel for manifesting. Be certain of what you want to create, what you're feeling. Allow your feelings to pass through and focus on the positive. You're friggin' welcome. Those were 2 perfect cards today. I love you. Thank you, universe. The water fairy longs to smile at you in the reflection. And the wind fairy is the number 29 right beside. The wind fairy whispers that the powers of thoughts manifest the unseen into the physical. Take time to observe your predominant thoughts. Are they positive? Do they reflect empowering concepts, or are they negative and disempowering? When you tune into how your mind is focused, you will surely see the relationships between the environment and thoughts you're thinking. To change the world of outer conditions, you must first change the way you think. The wind fairy also reminds you of the power of intellect, as this is a good time to use the power of your analytical mind. Before you act, this is not the time for impulsive action. A well thought out strategy will yield a positive result. So those, like the wind fairy over the high priestess, and what it's saying is your feelings are the ones that tap you into your intuition, but your thoughts basically are controlling the whole manifestation of it. And that's completely true. And then the one that follows it right on top is communication. So if your thoughts are clear and pure of heart, and you're connecting to source in your most love and light way, then the communication is going to come out in the most beautiful possible of way through Pride and Leadership in the Stag. Like, this is such a great reading. I flippin' love this reading today. Boom, I love it. Are you clear and straightforward when you communicate with others? Do you have difficulty asking for what you need? This marker reminds you of many things related to how you speak to the world and how it speaks to you. It asks you to be clear and to seek clarity in all communications between yourself and others in life. Perhaps you need to call someone or write a letter. Do you need to connect with someone you haven't talked to in a while? Do you need to clarify something that remains cloudy between you and another? Drawing this marker indicates it's timely to do so, for communication at this moment is highlighted in all areas of your life. This card notes that communication is not just between human beings. Your spirit guides and angels and other helpers are on your path, always trying to get your attention. Are you open to their messages? Are you open? Are you open? Or do you just sit there and zone out sometimes and just wait for them to give you your messages? I do that a lot. I love zoning out and just being receptive. Like, think of your arms open wide and a big peace sign, and come at me, bro, with your spirit. This card knows that communication is not just between you. Okay. Ask and you will know. No, look and you will see. Listen and you will hear. Sense and you will feel. Communication is not just about talking at something or someone. In Avalon, the sacred wisdom was gained by developing receptivity and learning to listen. And communication now, moving forward, is all about using our thoughts and feelings and emotions to create that higher vibration in love. You know, feelings and emotions don't have to be bad. They can be happy, but transfer them onto another person and rise above them. So, pass that ball. When the stag appears on your path, he tells you to take pride in all that you do. Be the leader and hold your head up high. And others will follow by your example. Ask yourself these questions. Am I following on my highest path? Am I acting in integrity and doing the best I can? Or am I held back by the kind of pride that cuts me off from life through arrogance, or its reverse, low self-esteem? The stag asks you to be a leader, be proactive, with the highest of intentions, and always ask, what is the highest good for all? Arrogance and its reverse are both places of alienation and ways to avoid responsibility and accountability. The stag leads you out of both difficult places into the kind of pride that reminds you that you're always in service to the God, Goddess, in every step you take. You may already be there, in which case you should be proud and happy. Look how far you've come. Rejoice, for the stag always leads you to a higher place with sure and steady footing. Woo! I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And if you wake up with a grateful heart, like, that's the biggest thing. You are powerful. That conversation, that 1 hour conversation that I had with my son, has never been more spiritual, never more loving, never more, like, he got a red pill completely, again. Never been all of those. But it's been about, he chose me as his mother. And he's accepting the fact that I chose my parents, and so on and so on. So we're releasing, we even talked about releasing the things that make us angry, to shed off the dark shadow ego of ourselves, so we can just be pure, loving, unconditionally loving human beings. So that's my message for you today. Be mindful of your soul contracts. Tap into it. Go for a walk. I don't know. It's a little cold here today. I was going to go for a walk, but it snowed a little bit. I'm going to wait for tomorrow when it's 11 degrees. It's -2 here. Yep, that's our weather out here. It's flipping snow. And the next day it's like sunny and warm. But today I'm doing drawing. And thank you to everyone who's sending in their request for Queen Romana prints. I'll be getting on to those by the end of the week and preparing. I have to get the copy of Queen Romana now to Calgary just for more effective prints. So I love you guys all so much. And happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans down there. I love you. I don't eat turkey. Save a turkey. If you don't eat turkey, maybe you can adopt a turkey. Save its life. They don't live that long. The way they're raised now. Ooh. Anyways, I love you guys. Light and love. Have a good day. Blessings.